You're a strong jar, my son. Then why is my shell so weak? Just pick up the pieces and get back on the horse. But father, after yesterday's events, I am not just physically a jar, but physically a jar. This is not the time for jokes, Jarld. Ladies, gentlemen, and tarnished of all ages, are you ready to tie up some loose ends to fill in the cracks, so to say? With the hot, fresh update to Elden Ring patch 1.03, we surprisingly got the ending to a few NPC storylines, as well as the addition of one of the most precious NPCs in the entire game, Jair Bairn. Today, I'll be going over which NPC storylines have been given their proper ending and how to reach those endings. The NPCs in question being Gastok the Gatekeeper, Kenneth Haight, Nepheli Loux, Dialos, and Jair Bairn, who is the continuation of the Iron Fist Alexander questline. First up then, Nepheli Loux. As long as you interact with her the first time in Stormveil Castle, you cannot break this questline. The old steps of the questline start first at the secluded cell, Site of Grace, head out past the giant, then past the golden seed tree, and then into the room to the side will be Nepheli Loux. When you talk to her, she will move to the round table hold. If your game state still has Preceptor Saluvis alive, then you must talk to him to receive the potion at Saluvis' Rise behind Caria Manor in the northwest of Liurnia. Then speak to Gideon Ofnir at the round table hold to ask him to dispose of it. After this, or if Saluvis dies before giving you the potion, because this can also happen, Nepheli will move to the village of the Albinaurix, just down the path from the Site of Grace under the bridge, asking you to kill the Omen Killer boss that is across the bridge that is above her. Do so and then speak to her in the round table hold down the stairs from Master Hugh. From here, you want to give her the Stormhawk King Ashes, which you can find by revisiting the Chapel of Anticipation through the Eastern Waygate at the Four Belfries teleportation station in Western Liurnia. The key item is located at the far end of the map, up some stairs on a corpse. After giving this to Nepheli Loux, her questline is complete for now. In order to unlock the new stage of this quest for patch 1.03, you also need to have up to date the questline for Kenneth Haight. Kenneth is first found northeast of the Mistwood outskirts Site of Grace in Limgrave atop some ruins, asking you to get his fort back for him. Travel south to Fort Haight West, reach the top, and kill the knight on the roof. After this, meet him back at the ruins, tell him that it's clear and he'll give you a dagger and he will relocate to the fort. Meet him at the fort on the roof as well and exhaust his dialogue here. This is the old endpoint for his storyline. Finally, in this chain of 3 NPCs that end together is Gatekeeper Gastok, who you may remember as that guy who really doesn't like Godric to the point that he is still kicking his dead body 100 hours after the fact. You first find him when he offers you a side route into the castle instead of the main gate, and then once you kill Godric, you will find him kicking his corpse afterwards, and that's where you will find him until patch 1.03 and the other progression of these other 2 questlines. Once all 3 NPCs are at this point, go to the Godric the Grafted Site of Grace in Stormveil Castle, sit down again to refresh, and Gastok should disappear. Go forwards into the throne room to find Nepheli Loux beside Kenneth Haight, who has decided it should be Nepheli Loux Multipass to rule Stormveil. Yes, I said Nepheli
Loux Dallas Multipass.
Sorry, that's the only thing I can hear when I say her name. To cap this off, Nepheli will give you an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, which lets you raise your weapon to plus 25. This is the earliest acquirable Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone in the game, as all of the others require you to reach the mountaintop of the Giants region or further unless you straight up kill an NPC that sells you spells. On top of this, in the back of the throne room, you'll find Gastok, who is now the lady's attendant and also returns to being a merchant. However, he now uniquely sells an Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone for 20,000 runes, making this the second easiest Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone to acquire in Elden Ring. Now that one is wrapped up all nicely and tightly all together, we have Dialos and Jair Bairn, which all happen together. Jair Bairn is a whole new NPC added in this patch, but Dialos existed prior. While his questline could be started quite early in the game, you can also just ignore him entirely until the relevant moment without breaking his questline in the slightest or even losing anything. Once you have completed the Volcano Manor area, look for Dialos inside of the meeting room. He will be there no matter what you have done up to this point. Talk to him and he will be quite despondent in this moment. After this conversation, before the patch, he was done. Now, however, you want to head to Jarburg, the village of the Potmen, on the eastern side of Liurnia, accessed by dropping down these gravestones from south of the tower that is south of the Artist's Shack of Grace. At the bottom, you will find a quaint town with a site of grace. Talk to the child pot over here on a bit of a ledge and to be introduced to Jair Bairn. What a good kid. He just wants to grow grow up to be a big strong warrior jar like his uncle Alexander. Exhaust his dialogue, then rest at the site of grace and talk to him again. He will tell you to feel free to pick all the flowers in the village, so go on a bit of a nice relaxing jaunt through the field, and then rest at the site of grace once more. Talk to Jar Bairn again, and then this is where he gets locked until you have talked to Dialos after Volcano Manor. If you've already done that, then rest at the site of grace once again, and then come back over. He will tell you that Dialos has showed up to be the protector of Jarburg. Find him at the far end of the village tending to a small pot. Then comes the fun part. Sit at the site of grace, pass time to night, fast travel somewhere else, and then fast travel back to Jarburg, then sit at the site of grace once more to refresh the area. Eventually, you will see Jar Bairn gone from his perch, and the normal happy sleeping jar that's beside him broken to bits. Walk up forwards to see the gruesome scene of Dialos taking his final breaths, having attempted to protect the village from poachers. Talk to Jar Bairn and also to Dialos. He will ask you if he protected the jars. The truth? The only survivor is Jar Bairn himself. Take that how you will. Reload the area at the site of grace and you'll see Jar Bairn mourning Dialos. Talk to him once more, then reload the area one more time and you'll find Jar Bairn back on his steps, as well as Dialos' helmet and a Hoslo pedal whip, where Dialos' corpse was previously. Talk to Jar Bairn, and at this point, if you have completed the Alexander questline, you'll be able to give him Alexander's innards. For a quick breakdown of that questline if you haven't, after beating the Great Rune boss in Caelid, you can find Alexander in the desert, meet him essentially just up the cliff from where Jarburg is, where he is stuck in the ground, use an oil pot there to slick him up and kick him out, then meet him near Seethwater Terminus on Mount Gelmir in the back of the magma pool just to the side. After this, he moves to crumbling Farum Azula. Once you have the Dragon Temple altar site of grace, head out the north exit and progress to reach a hallway with dragon statues. Go up the staircase on your right at the end to reach a stone sword keyed door. Open it to reveal a site of grace and a whole new path around, through, and up to reach Alexander, where you can honorably duel him to the death. Give Jar Bairn Alexander's innards, which you receive afterwards, and it may seem like a bit of an insensitive gesture given that Alexander is his uncle, but remember that these jar people are cannibals who believe eating the flesh of strong things makes them stronger. He views his uncle as strong. You gave him his uncle's innards. He is happy about this. Rest at the site of grace one final time to find Jar Bairn, now gone, off to be on his own warrior journey, and in his place will be the companion jar talisman, which raises your damage with throwing pots around 20%. And there you have it. That is all of the NPC storylines that have been updated and completed in update 1.03 for Elden Ring. I've been Cotton Dinosaur from RageGamingVideos. I hope that this has helped you find the ends to these questlines, and I hope that you've enjoyed the ways that these all been wrapped up. Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.